Good afternoon. We're going to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody that's here, good afternoon, and everybody on Channel 97, good afternoon. Don Day and Gary Burkle are on vacation and will not be here today. Today, the board sits arm in arm with the business partners of FSR and CCL, advisory committees, district delegates, and residents. We feel together, stronger as one, so we will not be on stage today. The format for today's meeting is a little different than in the past. We will take public comments in the first half of the meeting instead of the end of the meeting to ensure all comments are heard by guests. The Master Board's working very hard to keep us safe, enhance our amenities, and protect our financial well-being as an HOA. In August, you will be receiving a survey. The survey is very important. Please take the time to fill it out and return it to your district delegate. This survey will help us better understand who lives in Sun Lakes and how we can better serve you. Summer's in full swing now. That means our insurance renewal and annual budget work begins for 2026. The board has interviewed 2 new insurance brokerage firms over the past month, and they are working at this time on getting us competitive quotes for 2026. Our goals for the coming year in the budget is to have a clear understanding of what our true costs are and to ensure we have a workable, sound budget. Since COVID, prices on everything seems to have skyrocketed and increased quite a bit for all of us. We want to make sure that we are current with our paying our bills and have the proper reserves in place so that when things arise, we're prepared. When the board selected our new food and beverage company, they acted on behalf of the HOA in a proper fiduciary manner. The board will review all major contracts in the coming months to make sure that Sun Lake residents are receiving the very best services at the very best prices. It is our duty, and we will do the best for you. And lastly, our brick donation program goal is almost met to begin the new clock tower project. Orders will go out soon for the clock and the bricks. So if we haven't ordered your brick yet, please submit your brick order in the pro shop as soon as possible because time is running out. Thank you very much. The executive session, Jason? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, everyone. This report will give the community an update on the report or on the actions that the board took at their July 9th, July 16th, and July 21st executive sessions, at which time litigation, member discipline, formation of contracts, and personnel matters were discussed. With member matters, the board approved the house account receivables as of June 30th, as well as the assessment account receivables as of June 30th, 2025. The board reviewed 1 show cause hearing. The board reviewed a master architectural appeal. The board reviewed and approved the delinquency report. The board reviewed 1 request for a fee waiver. The board reviewed 4 requests for an annual golf refund. And the board reviewed a few letters from members. With legal, the board reviewed and approved the executive session minutes from May 19th, June 25th, July 9th, and July 16th. The board received several updates from legal counsel. The board reviewed costs from a number of collection attorneys and has decided to stay with the current collection attorney, which is MLG. The board approved to send the following to collections attorney and to begin the foreclosure process. And they were on APN 440-010-046, APN 440-010-077, APN 440-083-009, and APN 440-140-063. With formation of contracts, the board received updates from the management company on several items and discussed the progress on multiple projects. The board met with CCL. The board met with representatives from a couple different insurance brokers, as Mr. President alluded to earlier. The board received and filed the project activity report. The board received and filed the investment activity report. And the board reviewed the Sun Lake staff turnover report. The board met with Carla Chung to discuss the association's current and future investments. The board reviewed and approved the ratification of 3 emergency operation expenses to be recorded as reserve items, and these were electrical wiring and the blower motor in the kitchen, as well as some other kitchen items that needed to be repaired ASAP. The board has also approved the street sign replacement. So the street names, those signs will be replaced. They'll be done in 3 phases over the next 9 months. The board has also approved the RFP to go out for the Cheers Bar to be used as an on-site real estate office. If interested, the RFP will be on the public side of the website. So on the public side of the website, there's a little tab that says current RFPs. If you go on there, it'll be right there. So anybody who would like to go out to bid on it or submit their RFP can. It's not limited to just those that receive the email that you guys have all heard about. So it is open to anyone. So again, if you have any questions where that's at, you can always ask us, but it's on Sun Lake's website, right there, current RFPs, and it'll be there as real estate RFP. The board reviewed updates on the Legacy Brick and Clock Tower program. The board approved the survey to go out from the delegate assembly. The board approved a marketing brochure that the marketing committee has been working on. The board approved a dog park to be constructed at the North Clubhouse adjacent to the pickleball courts on the west side, and I know Mr. President will be talking about this later. And finally, the board reviewed and approved the June to July narrative and analytic reports from Securitas, and both of these will be posted on the website. And the board is continuing to work with Securitas and the Safety Committee on a major incident report to be presented to the community on a monthly basis. And that completes the executive session actions.
At this time, we'll do the homeowner comments. Ms. Walter?
Good afternoon, Master Board, FSR. 2 things. The Community Awareness Program is having their presentation on Tuesday, August 5th from 1 to 3 in the main ballroom. Please join us for a presentation on the warning signs of Alzheimer's, how to identify and address concerns. The presenter is Kimberly Spiegel, Senior Program Manager for the Alzheimer's Association. So this will be going out, and I think this went out in the delegates' newsletters also. I think it did. And then the second thing I want to mention is our Masquerade of Elegance and Glamour, the fashion and luncheon show. There are more flyers out there. This is what it looks like. So if you're interested in coming to this, go ahead and put your envelope, drop your envelope in the decorated box in the lobby. Tickets are $65. Include your name and phone number on each person that's attending. 1 person from your group must be present, and the lottery will be held on August 25th from 9 to 11. And let's see, fashions are by Daisy Blue and Lush Lane. So if you have any questions, you can always give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you. Marcy?
Good afternoon, Master Board and FSR. My name is Marcy Tierney. I'm coming today to speak about transponders. I don't know if you're aware of it, but there is an extreme backup of issuing those. We recently had friends move in, and it was over 2 weeks before they were able to actually go around the community and especially go over to the North Clubhouse. They immediately joined the executive course and want to be very involved, but it was of great inconvenience. So I would ask that the Master Board look into that. Now, I believe when we got the new, or it could have been the prior issue of transponders, many of us volunteered. So if you're short-staffed, I, for one, would be happy to come and volunteer and help. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Ken Johnson. Birdie Drive.
Master Board, FSR, residents, my name is Ken Johnson, Birdie Drive. I'm pleased to announce that I purchased a brick for our Sun Lakes Joe Ganino Clock Tower project.
Not the Joe Ganino project, no, it's the Sun Lakes Country Club, but Mr. Johnson, thank you for your purchase.
Yeah, you're welcome. Of course, we had to have our dog print on it, and as you would expect, the wording is Ken and Jean Johnson, Birdie Drive. I would encourage all residents to participate in this project if you can. I'm excited to see that the Master Board has been able to come to a mutually agreed upon dog park solution in our community near the North Clubhouse. Great work for all those that have been involved. My wife and I continue to support the food and beverage venues, but I'm really concerned that we should have some firm, established project completion dates for the acoustical and HVAC issues in our food and beverage venues. I truly believe once these projects are completed, our food and beverage revenues will increase. Finally, I'm really feeling uncomfortable that we're not going to be and stay within our 2025 budget expectation, and time is quickly running out to realistically develop a budget for 2026. The clock is ticking, and I hope that we'll have one that everybody is pleased with. That's all I have to say, and have a good day.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, Carl Miller?
Afternoon, everyone. Name's Carl Miller. I've been here for a short time, 24 years, and I love living here. It's a nice place, and I don't normally come up and say anything about anything, but I had a couple issues that I wanted to bring up, and one was a safety issue with parking over by the pop tennis courts. It's golf cart parking only. And on Tuesday night when they do bingo, we have they open it up to the handicap to park there. And I talked to a gal last night that was parking there. Matter of fact, we brought 8 carts over so we could take our own parking spots back. And because when they open up to them, the handicap take up all the golf cart spots. But last night a gal said someone had fallen. She saw someone fall with her walker because it was too steep. Anyway, it's a safety hazard, and I think we should stop letting handicap park over there because it's not made up for handicap to park there. It's not made up for cars to park there. It says golf cart parking only, and I think that's the way it should stay. And so it's one of those things that it's a safety issue. And by the California law, it should be, to make it handicap, there's major things we have to do to it, which I don't think we should be able to. So anyway, that's what I got to say about that. And another thing was the restroom in the main clubhouse here for the pool. I want to see about taking out a whole row of lockers that are never used and put more benches in there for the people to use. At the South Clubhouse, we have several benches where people come in and use them. Here we have one bench, so I'd like to see about getting a row of lockers taken out that are never used and put a couple more benches in there. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So we need to get a motion to approve the minutes from the open session on June 25th.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Dolores.
I'll second that.
Dolores.
All in favor?
Aye.
She was wanting to talk during the homeowner comments.
We didn't have a paper.
Oh, sorry. I apologize, I didn't have a paper.
Just kidding.
Almost went by.
We women, we are trained in walking in heels. Good afternoon, Board, FSR members. Well, yeah, there's 2 of you. Residents, my delegates, fellow delegates, and those watching on Channel 97. I'm here as the delegate for District 4, reading a letter on behalf of one of my residents that is opposed to the leasing of that space for a real estate office. So I'm going to read this on her behalf. She is in Arizona and could not be here, otherwise she would be reading this. To our esteemed board members, FSR, and the residents of Sun Lakes, I apologize not being here in person. I designate my district delegate to read my thoughts about having a real estate office located inside Sun Lakes. As a realtor for some 40 years, having owned and operated 3 offices with upwards of 25 agents, I can see the advantage of this opportunity. However, as a part of CAR State Director and Chair of the Professional Standards Committee, I do not think this is fair to all, especially the independent realtors, those that are not franchises, many that are semi-retired residents of Sun Lakes. Having lease money coming in is attractive. However, there will be dissension amongst the many realtors living and working here. For a typical month, I meet anywhere from 2 to 10 or more of my clients here, walking through our reception area into one of our venues and also touring them through the amenities promoting Sun Lakes. I certainly would not be doing this any longer. It would be like asking my unique clients to meet me at a competitor's office. The amount of revenue lost from me is insignificant compared to the amount of goodwill Sun Lakes will lose. As a resident, I do not think this is a good fit. I think a real estate office inside of Sun Lakes is a bad idea. I think there are other kinds of businesses that could better utilize the space and appeal to a vast majority of residents. Respectfully submitted, Carol Elliott, District 4 resident, 10 years, 2 months, owner/operator, Unique Marketing Concepts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we need a motion to review and file the June 2025 financial statement packet. I apologize. So on the consent on all 3?
Just have him read the consent.
Please read the consent agenda.
Chris did actually leave me with a very short lien list, which is very nice. So I only have 2 to read this time. So the 2 liens that the board is going to approve on the consent agenda are for account number 0159-01 and 1862-02. The other items that were on the consent, like I said, the minutes that the board has reviewed, as well as the financial statement and packet for June 2025. And those are the 3 items on the consent agenda.
Get a motion to approve this?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
I don't know, someone's making hand motions at me.
It's a A and B conversation. We're not in it, I guess.
I just need a second
We
on the
just need a
motion.
second. I'll second. All in favor?
And,
Aye.
okay,
Aye. Okay, committee reports, Bingo Advisory Committee?
Mr. President, actually, for the general manager report, I'd like to forego that and have Michelle come up and do the employee of the month, if you don't mind.
Ah, sure.
Sorry, I'm doing hand signs over there. Okay, so our Employee of the Month for June has been here at Sun Lakes for over 20 years. During this time, this employee has always gone out of their way to assist residents with whatever they need. This month's Employee of the Month is someone that cares a great deal about their work and always puts their best foot forward. Whenever there is a need to cover, we can always count on this employee to step up. Additionally, this employee is a great team player and helps other members of the team when needed. This employee is someone you can always count on. When they say they're going to do something, it gets done right the very first time. There is a lot more that can be said about this employee, and I know there are a lot of residents in attendance today who know this employee and could tell you a story or 2 on how this person has gone out of their way to help them. There were so many kind remarks from residents. 2 of my favorite comments are, "This person is always so helpful, friendly, cheerful, and makes sure everything is done properly." And the second comment is, This person has always a smile, and he's always so positive and goes beyond to take whatever you need. So the marketing committee is proud to congratulate Jose Contreras on being the June Employee of the Month for his outstanding job performance. Jose is more than deserving of this recognition.
Congratulations. Sub-associations. Do we have a report from the subs?
There's no other general manager.
Okay. Delegate Assembly.
Good afternoon. My name is Cal Martin, and I am here on behalf of the Delegate Assembly to keep you in touch with what's going on there. At the Delegate Assembly, Linda Spalding has resigned from her position as the chair of the Ethics and Conduct Committee and has left the committee. A new chairman has not been appointed for that committee, but we did appoint a couple of new members to serve on the committee. Jim Nickel from District 3 and Dave Miller from District 5 are going to now serve on the Ethics and Conduct Committee. At the workshop this coming Friday, we're going to discuss a number of things, but probably the most pivotal ones on it are that we're going to discuss and see how people feel about the issue of leasing part of the clubhouse to an outside vendor of any kind. There seems to be some significant opposition to the community, some of which you've already heard. I'm just reinforcing that we'll be talking about it as well. And last would be the resident survey, which I believe is finally authorized, ready to go, and we are ready to execute as soon as we receive it. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. Do we have a representative from the city of Banning today? Okay, treasurer's report.
Good afternoon. Okay. Good afternoon, residents here and on Channel 97. In Gary's absence, I'm going to present the financial report for June. This is based on June's financials. So the first income statement for June, of course, our monthly dues are right on budget year to date. We're a little behind in revenue, much of which is related to, I think, the social memberships, which is the $9.50 fee due to a little lower than budgeted sales on houses. Utilities are running ahead of budget, that in terms of HOA expenses, a lot of which is the Spectrum contract, which we had budgeted for a lower rate, which we're realizing, but not earlier in the year. Land maintenance is under, much of that is tied to the fact that the golf course is running under budget, so the allocated maintenance, greenbelt maintenance, is below. Swimming pools and spas is very close to on budget, running a little bit over on that contract. Planning and compliance and recreation are under budget year to date. A lot of that is tied to labor, an open position in recreation. And then property protection, that's the Securitas contract, is also running about 10% below budget year to date. And common area maintenance, and which is a lot of the repair and maintenance activities and also maintenance labor. And then administration. And a lot of the positive variance in administration is due to collections higher than expected and things around some of the legal fees around collections. So all in all, we are ahead of budget on the HOA. And then year to date in income, and we were positive on the HOA. Of course, golf is budgeted for a loss, but you can see in the variance column it's positive, meaning the losses in golf are not as high as we budgeted, but there are losses in golf. And then food and beverage, which this is incorporating now the losses for CCL, is running significantly higher than budget. And I do have some detailed June financials now from them, which I'll review here momentarily. So in total, the HOA has a very small loss in the month of June, but year-to-date is still positive, and we're still running above budget. So just comparison to prior years, 2023 was just about 300,000. 24 was much worse than that, and in 2025 now, as you've just seen, we're over 400,000 year-to-date net income for this year. And this is halfway through the year now. We've now had 6 months of our fiscal year. So in terms of our operating funds, the cash is now 2.2 million, and that includes now that Spectrum payment. So this is very positive news. You've seen the graphs of how operating cash had declined, and so this will affect our liquidity ratio, which you'll see in a minute. We have outstanding bills of 1.5 million. And so now we're back in a situation again where cash and receivables exceed our outstanding bills by 1.1 million, which is the best it's looked in a long time. And the payable to First Service Residential is just under $500,000, so we're relatively current. A lot of that was a deferred, payroll. So the current ratio is that idea of, do I have enough liquid cash and current receivables that I could pay my bills before they're due? That's sort of the idea. We can all think of that personally in our own lives. So in April, our bills exceeded cash and receivables by $158,000. It was worse than that in May, $255,000, and now you can see in June it's quite positive. Again, the cash on hand being the Spectrum contract. So our current ratio, instead of being below 1, down here in the bottom is now 1.75, where we're recommended to be between 1.5 and 3. So that's all very good news for us. In terms of the repair and replacement fund, we always have expenditures from this year to date. We're running close to budget. Our assessments, the reserve replenishment income is not as high as we had expected. Again, this is due to home sales. Investment income is good, and expenditure. So our balance now is basically 12.5 million. And then the capital improvement fund, just for the month, has investment. There are no expenses against the capital improvement fund, so we're hovering right in the 1.3 million. And then this is a first slide that we're seeing. I'm going to take a chance in Gary's absence, but he's turned this information over to present to you where we are standing. Trying to roll up some of the detail, but the revenue they do present to us as food sales, alcohol sales, banquet catering sales, and the corkage fee. So what you can see, the biggest issue really for CCL when you roll this together is that we're not making the target in revenue. And the target was based on what we would have budgeted what we had budgeted for this year with FSR running food and beverage. So we didn't make a new budget for them. Food and alcohol cost rolled together is just a little bit over budget. Labor cost, we're over budget in the hourly employees and under in the salary and management staff, but together labor is under budget. And then the direct cost and the management fee is just about right on budget. So you can see the total operating costs are a little bit under budget, but the overall performance is worse than projected by 66%. And again, that's because of the, really being down in the revenue. In CCL, and I'm sorry, we got an email from Rachel just shortly before the meeting. She's had a flat tire, I think is what she said to her, and a family member who had a flat tire at the same time, and she's trying to deal with that. So her apologies for not being here. But they're planning a number of activities to try and draw all of you into the restaurant and into our activities and continue to grow the business and meet the needs of the residents. So we're running, the food and alcohol cost is on budget, but you can see the food as a percent of sales is higher than we had budgeted because the sales are down, but the costs are about the same. So this is really sorting through where we are with inventory and where we are with sales. So many of you have asked to see, are we getting the kind of details from CCL and financials? And so we did, their first partial month was April, and the month of May we did not, but now for June we do. So, and then I don't have an update for this. This is as it was through May. So I'm sorry, in Gary's absence, and now Chris is on vacation. I was away for 3 days. I don't have an update on the reserve expenditures. But I do want to say Jason and I met with this company yesterday. Why does that seem so long ago? Just yesterday, with this smart properties software that we have purchased to manage reserves. And this should be a really great product. They're going to come out and update. They'll come on site to update the reserve study. We're talking about a slightly different structure. For instance, we have 49 categories in which we have all our things that we own. And we want to try to consolidate that down to about 20 and simplify the process for taking actual invoices and booking them to the component, the item in our reserves that we're budgeted to take care of. And then should have not just a list of expenses, but actually some comparison of what we expected to spend and what we're actually spending. So that's kind of our promise to you about some additional meaningful reporting on reserve expenses. So I think that's my treasurer report. Thank you.
Okay, like she said, Rachel did have to leave. She had a family car problem and a personal car problem all at the same time, so she does apologize. We have spoken with her this week. We had a meeting with CCL. They do have some things coming down the pipe that are pretty exciting with a celebrity chef from the Food Channel. They'll announce soon. Their webpage should be up shortly within the next 2 weeks. It's beautiful. We've seen it. And then they're really forward thinking on the NFL season coming up. And they're talking about Monday Night Football and Sundays and some of the different things they want to do. So with that being said, we're now at committee reports and recommendations. So if I can now start with the Bingo Advisory Committee. Okay. Common area, go. He's saying they can't hear me, and he's saying common area. I don't know.
Oh, good afternoon. As you know, I report all the time about how our committee inspects all the common area, which is what our charge is, the facilities, the buildings, the streets, the trees, the bushes. But one of the things that we really can't do much with is sidewalks. So I'm asking the members of Sun Lakes that if you you're out walking and you do encounter a place on the sidewalk that doesn't look as smooth as you think it should be, there might be a root that raises a piece of sidewalk or something such as that and some damage, please let operations know. We try to get those things as quickly as possible. They're definitely a danger. As that thing was just a few minutes ago, I thought we were going to have a major issue. But anyway, people fall, and we need to make sure that we take care of that. So if you've got any problems with that, please give us a call, and we will address it as quickly as possible. Thank you.
EPAP.
Candace Jenkins for EPAP report. Good afternoon, Master Board, FSR, and residents. The repeater project is on track. The radio team will meet with the vendor soon. For those who do not know, this is the project where the radio team puts new repeaters on the top of the main clubhouse roof. The radios for administration, golf shop, maintenance, and Securitas will use these repeaters to talk via radios during any disaster or event. During the Wolf Fire, there was no communication between the radio team, Securitas, and administration. There was some false information put on Facebook by non-EPAP volunteers. This led to some confusion in the community about evacuation warning and orders. We are asking non-EPAP volunteers not to post on Facebook. Brian O'Grady has invited the past communities to join us this year during our annual drill. We will communicate via radio with the communities that participate. The drill will be held October 16th, 2025 at 10:16 in the morning. We are changing the name of our medical rescue team, MRTs, to First Aid Support Teams, FAST. Since we can only administer first aid during a disaster, this name change more accurately reflects the responsibilities of that team. Linda Myers-Kalb will be offering 5 first aid classes, so please contact her at 951-529-9087 for the dates and times of these classes and to register for them. EPAP has printed coded Genesee maps for the residents. These maps will show the residents which zones they are in. We suggest that these maps be placed in an area of easy access during the next fire, so during the next fire, you can easily refer to them if an evacuation notice is given. We will hand them out at the district delegate meeting. Please join us for EPAP 101 on Thursday, August 14th at 2 p.m. in the main clubhouse multipurpose room. We will have the radio team there to show you what they do and how they work with the other members of our past community. Thank you.
Finance Committee. Golf Committee.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Callahan, Chairman of the Golf Advisory Committee. The GAC regularly makes recommendations to the Master Board regarding the maintenance needs of our 2 golf courses. These needs largely focus on turf conditions, trees, cart paths, and playability. Home values in our community benefit greatly from this golf course setting that provides the open spaces and landscaping that comes with a well-manicured golf course. Recommendations for golf course maintenance projects are made with the goal to improve the function and appearance of the golf course. The GAC would also like to remind residents of the numerous golf activities to participate in. There are women and men's golf clubs for both the championship and executive courses. In addition to these golf clubs, there are also many golf activities like pass putters, pitch putt and play, and Friday afternoon scrambles for residents to take part in, even if you are not a regular golfer. Golf is a great way to get involved in a country club community that you live in. If you have questions about golf activities at Sun Lakes, check out one of the many outlets for information or drop into the pro shop and talk to one of our knowledgeable golf staff. And remember, buy your brick soon.
Thank you. Library. Lifestyles. Marketing.
Good afternoon, FSR. Michelle Walter for the Marketing Advisory Committee. We have completed our real estate brochure, and I know that the board's already approved it, so this is it. You'll be seeing it pretty soon. We're going to have it printed. And our next welcome home is tomorrow evening, July 24th at 5 o'clock in the ballroom. We have 11 clubs that are participating tomorrow evening, and we have 40 residents that are coming to it. And I'm going to give you some stats. The following are the stats on the home sales in Sun Lakes from June 1st to June 24th. Excuse me, July. I'm back in June. Okay, active or coming soon are 56. 8 condos, prices from $299 to $365. 48 homes, prices from $329 to $554. In escrow are 25. 6 condos from $299 to $339. 19 homes, prices from $334 to $499. Closed escrows, 12 homes, prices from $325 to $600. 2 condos, prices from $330 to $342,500. So if you take the 14 homes or the 14 that have closed, it would be 2310 times 14 gives us $32,340, depending if they were all new home buyers. Total closed escrows in June were 13 homes, no condos. So what went into our replenishment replacement fund was $30,030. And I wanted to read you a little something. Bonnie Sievers, the one that pulls all the stats up for me. And she says, sales have picked up. Inventory has fallen about 20%, which is good. More buyers are looking here at writing offers. Prices are still falling. And there's a little stats that she gives me, and there's arrows next to them. And those arrows, in June, 100% of the homes that were on the market had to lower their prices to sell. In July, 100% of the homeowners have lowered their prices to sell. So hopefully this trend keeps going for sales and will turn around. And for this month, 30 of the homes that are on the market have lowered their prices. So they are selling, so we just have to be patient, and more money will be going into our reserve funds. Thank you.
Thank you, Master Architecture.
Good afternoon, David Marshall Keeley reporting for the Master Architectural Committee. Carefully read local building marketing advertisements. You get them every month, you get them weekly sometimes. We who live in Sun Lakes Country Club are a target by companies and their marketing. They consider us as low-hanging fruit, easy targets for a quick sale for their products or services. We desire security cameras, roll-down shades, windows and doors and patio covers, and paving, etc. for our homes. Companies can purchase a permit from the United States USPS Post Office. Their website says the following to explain how we get targeted from companies. It's easy for them. It's called the EDDM, the Every Door Direct Mail program. You don't need addresses, lists, or stamps for your direct marketing to put a name on the residence. You can purchase by zip code, choose the demographics, and by zip code to a target audience, and they will route your mail to the homes, our homes here, and the post office will deliver them. Whether you're having a sale, opening a new location, or offering coupons, EDDM can help you send postcards, menus, flyers, and more to the right people. And they consider us as the right people. Let me send you to the right department here at Sun Lakes to get help that you need to make any changes to your home. I mean, I look at this as an architectural planner and designer. There's a lot of cool things that I see in some of this mailing, and you like it too, but maybe we can and maybe we can't add them to our home. So you need to go to the Planning and Compliance Department. They'll help you with any changes to the exterior of your home. They'll guide you. They'll answer your questions about Article 7, the specific architectural standards, 7.1 through 7.35. That's a lot of information, but those are the guidelines that we're required to follow to help maintain the value of our community. So you can contact Etansla, the Planning and Compliance Manager, or Edgar, who is a staff person that works with us on a regular basis. So contact either one of them in Planning and Compliance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Recreation? RV storage.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Ball. I'm the secretary for the RV storage lot, standing in for Dave Puckett, our chairman. We didn't have a meeting this month because we're all traveling, as we all do with RVs. So anyway, at that this month, we did update our charter and submitted it to the master board. But there has been a lot of turnover in the past few months in our lot, and there are only 3 spaces left between 20 and 55 feet. To inquire about leasing an RV site, a resident can contact Julie Jacobson in the admin office. On a happy note, as you all are aware, there have been no negative incidences in our lot for a few months. But in closing, the RV Lot Committee is anxiously awaiting the board's possible action on future motion detection around the perimeter of the lot, and the possibility of increasing the patrols at night. We are anxiously awaiting your disposition. This would greatly improve the security of the lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Restaurant and lounge. Safety advisory.
Good afternoon, Board, FSR, and residents. My name is Michael Voles. I'm Chairman of the Safety Advisory Committee, and I'm here to give you an update on our committee. As we enter into the heat of the summer months, we expect increased activity in Sun Lakes, and along with this comes increased risks. We are expecting more guest visits, more traffic, and more deliveries throughout our community. Unfortunately, this tends to attract uninvited guests. Securitas continues to patrol regularly and enforce access policies, and we as residents can support these efforts by not propping open pedestrian gates and making sure all guests are properly registered at the main gate. Property damage and theft tend to increase also during these summer months, so we ask all residents to remain vigilant. Beware of your surroundings, report suspicious activity immediately, and be sure your vehicles and homes are locked and secured when unattended. Mike Romero, our Director of Security, has updated the Sun Lakes fire evacuation policy and procedure guidelines to be coordinated with Securitas and EPAP. The Wolf Fire in June was close to Sun Lakes, and much of our community received a level 2 evacuation alert, though there were no evacuations ordered, but it reminds us all that we must be prepared if that ever happens. I'd like to give a shout out also to Candace Jenkins and Janice Rice for all you do for EPAP and coordinating with Securitas. You guys do a great job. Elements of the fire evacuation policy report include activation of emergency protocol, gate operations and access control, resident notification, ongoing coordination and site management, and recovery and return protocol. Additional recommendations are training and drills to improve response readiness, gate power backup in the event of a power outage, evacuation maps, which Janice talked about, made available to all residents. Candace talked about. Emergency kits to be, every resident should have a to-go bag with your important documents, medications, and essentials in case we do have to evacuate. And the other thing is we need an updated, we do have an updated, and it needs to be continued to be updated, a vulnerable resident registry, which is an update of all the residents with mobility and medical needs who require assistance. None of us want an emergency, but we all must be prepared. Remember, keep your garage doors closed, keep your dogs on a leash, drive defensively, obey traffic signs and speed limits, and stop at all stop signs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Securitas report.
Good afternoon, residents, Master Board, FSR. Thank you for having us. My name is Mike. I'm your Director of Security here at Sun Lakes. With me is Lieutenant Roman. I'm here to provide your monthly stats. This is information you're going to be able to view online as well once I get done with this. So basically, it's a major incident review. The report covers key security-related events across the month of June and July. Following categories represent the most significant types of incidents that impact the safety, perception of security, and operational planning for our community. First category would be police called. Incidents, we had about 4 incidents that occurred within this time frame, with security officers having to activate 911 due to the following. Could have been for residents reporting suspicious or aggressive individuals, trespassers refusing to comply with patrol commands, welfare checks where a resident could not be reached. I can inform from the internal logs that at least 3 separate calls involved external law enforcement responses. Our takeaway on this is that our role is to de-escalate before external involvement is needed. So in case the call was justified and it's appropriate, we automatically activate 911 and have law enforcement come out to have their way in trying to help us out and assist wherever it's needed. The second category falls under confrontations. We've recorded 4 incidents which occurred through the months of June through July 15th, but others discussed informally or recorded under overlapping categories like resident assistance or police called. All involved verbal disputes, either between residents or with unknown individuals. Events were recorded late in the evenings between the hours of 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. as the most common time frame window when these incidents are taking place. None required physical intervention, though one was escalated to a police call for safety. The specific case involved a verbal altercation with a non-resident near one of our gates, which was resolved without injury. Confrontations also include disputes between residents and guests, individuals challenging the authority or actions of our security team, situations that escalate beyond courteous interaction. Our team has since reviewed and we continue to reinforce the de-escalation training and body camera use for accountability. My team is always recording every single incident when they're in the field, whether it be issuing a citation, doing welfare checks, or having any type of communication or conversation with residents. So for your safety and our safety, everything is always being recorded, and that's just to protect everybody that's involved in such situations. Next category falls into the suspicious activity. We had 14 incidents that were documented throughout that period, making this one of the highest single category counts for this report. Majority occurred after dark, indicating that late night patrol coverage is critical. Examples would include vehicles slowly driving through the community at odd hours, persons on foot near closed facilities, loitering or repeated drive-bys near community entrances. All were logged under an increased surveillance in affected areas. I've made it a point to increase our patrol coverage in a lot of our common areas and our gates, including the RV lot. We've ramped up patrol inside the RV lot to make sure that the units remain safe, and any suspicious activity is promptly reported to me. I will give directives into whether or not we should contact Banning PD, depending on the situation that calls. Trespassing would be our next category. We had 3 confirmed incidents involved. An individual accessing the community without authorization. All occurred during the night shift between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., prompting revised protocols for after-hours patrol. We anticipate more of these types of incidents as seasonal weather invites more foot traffic. Gate and access concerns is the next category. So we had 11 cases of unlocked or unsecured gates during the nighttime patrols. All were either inoperable gates were officially logged into this report batch through damaged gate repair, which was completed late in June. Timely communication with maintenance ensures that we are resolving these matters quickly to preserve access and security. 6, we had vehicle-related incidents. So we had 3 vehicular accidents and 1 case of property damage that were logged. Incidents were involved with residents. Minor injuries were reported. Nothing major, though, to report on that part. Number 7 would be fire, medical, and safety-related alerts. We had 6 related matters involving AMR and CDF, which were documented on this report cycle. Categories would be fire hazard, medical emergency, or general safety hazard. All were monitored closely, especially during high-temperature months or during holiday periods. So our observations, there is a noticeable concentration of major incidents during the overnight hours this past month, particularly between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., Patterns suggest that most security concerns, including suspicious activity, confrontations, and trespassing, are occurring after dark, when visibility is lower and fewer residents are present outdoors. As Director of Security, I challenge my team to continue improved documentation practices and more active use of our reporting system and body cam usage. We continue to ensure all incidents are accurately logged and categorized in real time, allowing us to better allocate resources and adjust patrol strategies. Continued training cycle was launched back in March. I led that with Lieutenant Roman. We are emphasizing how to better de-escalate, proper incident documentation, and when to involve police when it's heavily practiced or needed. Gate patrol routines are adjusted based on early year trends and community feedback. Consistent documentation and tracking is underway to capture the true frequency of incidents across all of these categories that are listed above. In closing, I want to thank the board and Sun Lakes residents as well for taking the time to review this report with me. What you've seen reflects not just the incidents themselves, but the efforts of our security team, which is done every day. Often late at night and behind the scenes, we are here to keep the community safe and supported. While we've had our share of challenges, what's important is that we're identifying patterns, responding appropriately, and adjusting our patrol strategies to better serve you. Whether it's a call to police, verbal confrontation, or suspicious activity near a gate, we're addressing each situation at professionalism and care. Moving forward, we remain committed to being proactive, visible, and responsive, but we can't do it alone. Security works best when there's communication and trust between the team and the residents that we serve. If you see something, please continue reporting it. Every detail helps us do our job a lot better. Together, we're building a safer and more connected community, one shift, one report, one conversation at a time. Thank you.
Thank you. Management received an email from the chairman of the Finance Committee notifying the board that Steve Von Reich, I hope I said that right, has resigned from the committee effective June 21st, 2025. May I get a motion to approve his request?
I make a motion, we approve the request.
Second.
I second. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
EPAP request, first aid classes. Management received a request from EPAP Executive Committee asking the Master Board to consider reimbursing the cost of first aid certification for residents. The proposal includes certifying 24 residents per year with a training conducted in 4 classes of 6 students each. The total cost for this program would be $960. EPAP hopes the zone captains and coordinators will participate if the cost is covered by the association. The committee believes that increasing the number of certified individuals in our community will enhance the safety and readiness in the event of an emergency or a disaster. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I make a motion, we approve this.
Second? Discussion?
Yes, with the demographics indicating the aging of our community, the more people that are trained in this area, the better off it is for all of us. I think it's money well spent.
I would agree.
I agree as well. I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Master Architectural Committee rule change request. The management has received an email from the chair of the Master Architectural Committee requesting a revision in Architectural Rule 7.20I. The proposed change involves modifying the last section of the paragraph to restrict the planting of tall bushes in front yards where they could obstruct visibility for carts, bicycles, and other vehicles. If the board agrees with this proposed change, it will be posted for 60-day member comment period, with copies made available in the clubhouse, administration office, and electronically on the association's website. Following the 60-day review period, the proposed rule change would be brought back to the board for final approval or denial on September 24, 2025 during the open session. Please see the attached letter, which we have. Do I have a motion to approve this change to remove the tall bushes in front of people's homes? Apparently how it's explained to me is that on some of the street corners especially, golf carts, their view is blocked And so as they enter into an intersection, it's unsafe for bicyclists, cars, and golf carts. So I think that's the spirit of the law on what they're asking for the change. Do we have a motion to allow this 60-day period?
I make a motion that we approve the revision of Architectural Rules 7.20 subsection I to restrict the planting of tall bushes in front yards.
Second?
Okay, discussion. Is this, if this is enacted, I'm going to look at Jason, then if you have material, plant material, in these locations in excess of 4 feet, you must cut it back. There's no grandfathering in.
No, not with a safety concern like this. It would be, they would be given adequate time to come in compliance with the updated rules.
Okay, so this is what we're motioning and seconding is the 60-day comment period to hear from residents. So hear from you if anyone is opposed or has comments or input, and then we would vote to pass it. But doing so means if you have plant material in excess of 4 feet, you will be given a period of time to comply by trimming it. Is I'm saying that right? Okay.
Yes,
Great.
if approved by the board on the 25th
Yes.
of September. So
Okay.
you'll second
I just want to
that?
make sure that's clear. If you have 60-day period to comment.
Sure. You second the motion?
Okay, I did, or you did.
All in favor?
Aye.
Safety Advisory Committee recommendation. Management received a letter from the chair of the Safety Advisory Committee recommending the installation of additional signage, and pavement markings to improve safety in specific area of the community. The committee is requesting the following actions. Installation of stop signs. Approve the installation of stop signs on Birdie Drive at Fairway Oaks Avenue for both eastbound and westbound traffic. In addition, approve the placement of a stop sign ahead sign on the eastbound side of Birdie Drive at an appropriate distance before the intersection. That's number one. Number two, installation of a slow sign. Approve the installation of a slow sign on the light standard located at 1005 Riviera Avenue. The resident at this address has been contacted and has been given their approval for the sign placement. If approval, management will order and install the signage and will also coordinate the painting of the lines, the limit lines, for the additional stop signs.
I make a motion that we approve the recommendation of the installation of the signs as recommended by the Safety Advisory Committee.
Is there a second?
I would like to understand a little more about what's driving the request for the stop signs and slow signs.
I agree with that.
Speeding in our community, I think maybe the safety chair can mention or address it.
Yeah, Mike, if you
address
could
it. Thank
give
you.
us a little more, I appreciate that, because we have a lot of stop signs here.
Yes, there have been multiple complaints about residents who live in that area about speeding of vehicles, not only residents, but delivery vehicles and so forth. And because there's no stop sign at Birdie and Fair Oaks, it's like a runway right there. And if we install stop signs, it's going to slow them down and make us safer, make everybody safer.
Okay, the stop sign ahead sign, can you elaborate on that?
Yes, there's a curve there, and if they aren't aware that there's a stop sign coming up, they might have to brake quickly. So the sign would give them advance notice that there's a stop sign coming up so that they can prepare for it.
Is a speed bump an option, Mike?
That's coming up next month. But yes,
I'm not necessarily in agreement with both.
Right.
Possibly. But it's imperative, I think, that we put the stop signs in. That's number one. Number two, we can discuss speed humps later.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Jason, do we have somebody on board to give us legal advice on the stop signs and the slow sign and what the proximity is? Do we have an engineer we can reach out to make sure we're in compliance with California Vehicle Code? Thank you. Okay, I make a motion to postpone this until we get
Have a little more information?
Yeah, we need a little bit
Yes.
more information and do a little bit of background research. So I make a motion to postpone and look into it a little deeper. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did Bob say aye?
Opposed? Aye. I think we could move on, with this, because if you want to get additional input and advice, you can, but some of these things are, really safety issues that need to be addressed. And whether or not you want to spend the extra money for a speed hump or bump, when you can put up a sign and accomplish the same thing. I think we might be neglectful, in just postponing and waiting and getting another report. My preference is that we follow the advice of the safety chair.
I recognize that, Bob. Thank you. My thought is one of the things we struggle with constantly in the community is people stopping at stop signs, which we complain about a lot, and speeding. And to me, a speed bump actually forces you to slow down when a stop sign is something you can ignore. That's kind of my thinking in terms of actually slowing people down.
If the speed bump's coming, the proposal for a speed bump's coming next week, or next month, 4 weeks isn't gonna hurt us to talk to an engineer to see what they think is best for our community. We have a lot of stop signs in here, and a lot of people don't stop at them.
Partly because there are so many. But
yeah, but the speed bumps seem to work pretty effective.
Mike's gonna say something.
Go ahead, Mike.
If I can just add, the contour of the street there, you have a downhill grade as you're going eastbound on Birdie towards Fairway Oaks, and so that increases the speed. Of course, the speed hump is going to help also, but the stop sign is going to work up there, I think, more so than the ones that they go through here on flat land. So that's just my opinion.
Oh, I appreciate that. So it was voted 2-1.
Mike. What's that?
We voted 2-1 to postpone for 4 weeks.
With a little more information. Not deny, but postpone.
Postpone, yeah. Members' requests. Management received a request for a resident asking the board to consider allowing the May and October community garage sales to be open to the public. This has historically been a highly debated topic within the community. Under the current policy, only residents and their invited guests, such as landscapers, housekeepers, friends and family, etc., are permitted to attend these events. Some residents believe that opening the garage sales to the public would increase participation, improve opportunities to sell unwanted items. To implement this change, Section 4.02 Community Rules, Item 28, would need to be amended. If the board wishes to proceed with this proposed rule change, it would be subject to a 60-day member comment period, with notice posted at the clubhouse, administration office, and online. The proposal would be returned to the board for final approval. I want to have open discussion first on this. Bob, what are your feelings on this?
Yeah, my feeling on this is that the matter should be tabled. I don't think we should entertain that at this time. It puts us at risk with having people that are not residents here come during those times. And I think the yard sales are sufficient and controlled the way they are currently handled. And I would prefer not opening it up to outsiders.
I agree with you. Opening up our community under those circumstances is not in the best interest of the community. That's my opinion. Do you have an opinion?
Well, I'm compelled to lay this request against the outcry regarding the potential of the Cheers bar to invite people into the community to wander, at will. And then that would be like one at a time, and now we're going to bring crowds of people in for the garage sales. So I'm not in favor of this. It's like trying to strike that balance of allowing the public in and yet our safety concerns about having people in. I'm potentially interested in receiving resident comment for a 60-day period of time and seeing where we are and what the balance is in that period of people who are in favor of bringing the public into our facilities or not, but otherwise I don't feel compelled to, but we would not be approving at this time. All we would be approving is a comment period.
So I want to stay on topic, but I want to make a comment because you made a comment. If a real estate office comes into this facility, the rules don't change for them. Someone is not going to be able to come to our gates and say, I'm here to see the realtor, and just drive in. They're going to have to be on a list or escorted in, or they're going to have to contact that realtor in advance, just like they do at many other HOAs. So I just want the community to be clear on that. Number two, on the 60-day, I make a motion to deny this request. I firmly believe in protecting our community, and opening it up for public comment is just going to delay the inevitable.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Recreation Advisory Committee recommendation. Management received an email from the chair of the Recreation Advisory Committee recommending that the board direct staff to investigate options for roll-out covers on the veranda. That's the heavy vinyl like you see at restaurants throughout Southern California. The committee believes that by adding these roll-out covers, it would provide protection and insulation during the cold and rainy season, making the space more comfortable for residents and allowing scheduled entertainment and activities to continue regardless of weather conditions. They feel this improvement would encourage greater participation in community events held on the veranda during less favorable weather. I want to make a comment. I think it's a great idea. I've talked to people about this in the community, but I think if we're going to approve this for them to just look into it, I think they need to look into permanent heaters built into the I-beams up above and a misting system for the summertime, so that we really could use that piece of real estate year-round. So that's just my two thoughts on that. Anybody have a comment?
Yeah, I think it doesn't hurt to just get some quotes and see what the cost is and get input from CCNL and the Restaurant and Lounge Committee too, to see what their input would be on this matter, because we're not making a decision. We're just investigating and getting some possible quotes to consider it.
Yeah, and if this is specifically addressing the cold weather and rain, this would be the time to do that if we wanted to implement something for the upcoming winter season. It's just directing staff. So this is, reaching out to companies, getting requests for information, getting some design ideas and potential costs. So it's,
I make a motion, we
that.
refer the matter to staff to obtain some information for the board.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we have a facility use request from Banning High School Golf. The Banning High School golf team is asking to utilize the golf course. They have asked to use the course for two upcoming dates. Tuesday, October 21st, that's a great day, and Thursday, October 23rd, it is, 2025. On the 21st, Banning High School will be hosting their league finals and would like to reserve the front nine for this event. A total of 42 golfers will be playing 9 holes with tee times beginning at noon and last group teeing off at approximately 1:13 p.m. The round is expected to take 2.5 hours, so that the front nine would be closed from noon to 2:30 on that day. The director of golf anticipates reopening the front nine around 2:30 p.m. They feel they can adjust slightly if needed. On Thursday, the 23rd, the top 20 players in the league in plus ties from Tuesday's event would return for an 18-hole match. We will closely monitor pace of play to ensure rounds are completed when the course's standard time of 4 hours and 10 minutes. They are hoping to start at noon, though we understand that with sunset at 6:08 p.m., a 12:30 p.m. or a 1 p.m. start time may be more suitable. I make a motion to allow the kids come out and play their club championship here. It doesn't affect us in the afternoon.
How did we get this request? Is this from David?
David submitted it after he got the request from the high school, yeah.
So that would be my question, that our pro shop
Yes.
is aligned with this scheme and timing and use?
Yeah, I spoke with David about this
Okay,
in
and
advance.
that's the source of this? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Do we need
long as-
comments from the Golf Advisory Committee?
As long as the Golf Advisory Committee and the Director of Golf are okay with it.
Yeah.
This, in the past, several years ago, the Golf Advisory Committee did approve the use of this. Once we approve the use, that it doesn't interfere with golf activities really of the residents, they don't need to come back for golf advisory approval again, because we had approved it once going forward. So then they just approached the Director of Golf to make sure this doesn't conflict with anything happening within the community on that particular day. Now, I would add that this time is during the afternoon on these days. This is a time when the golf course isn't utilized all that much, and we do actually make revenue from this particular event
Okay.
as well. So it's a plus for the community every way around.
So this is not a donation to the school?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a time slot. And
Thank you.
And to have the league finals here is pretty, kind of a cool thing
Yeah,
for
it
the
is.
community,
Yeah.
so.
I'll second your motion on that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Board projects and activities, FAC Reserve reporting update, the implementation of smart property software.
So I spoke about this earlier in the finance report, forgetting I would have a slot here, so I don't have a lot to add to this, except perhaps a time frame. I think I want to say, Jason, I'm looking at Jason, we're 2 weeks away from hearing back from Smart Property with a proposed structure for our categories and components, which we will review. And then they will be sending someone out to do the updated reserve study and trying to dovetail this in with the requirements of our budget and ability to interact with the FAC. So I think, Jason, is there anything else you want to say or we should share? Oh, yeah, I'll let you.
No, I'm really, as staff, really looking forward to it. You know, when every year in previous, and most communities are like this in the, that I've been a part of, you get a reserve study, you get a big, 500-page piece of paper, booklet, and it's just there. You know, you have to search through it, and you got to
Sits on a shelf.
Right, it sits on a shelf. You know, this here with this is a live, a live document to where we can go in and update. You know, when we have invoices on one of the AC units, we can tie it to that AC unit and say, okay, how much have we spent on this component over the time? You know, is it time to replace it? Do we still have more, repairs that can be done on it? So we as staff are very excited to be able to use this as well, because it will help us maintain and keep track of everything better too.
Yeah, and I think, you pull things that are actually budgeted in the future and they need to be done this year, and then in the, this thing will project out 10 years, you pull that forward and reduce the spend in that year. That gives you that flexibility and to level, we're supposed to spend, 10 million in this year, whoops. So it's live and it allows you to balance that. And what's important in the structure for staff is that they have invoices and can look at the invoice and easily find the category and the component. You go to a web page and you put in the dollar amounts and it tracks spend to that item. So
And like you were saying there, it allows us to go in and do some theoretical planning as well.
Yeah.
To where you're just looking, like I said, looking at just a document. Now you have something that you can go in and physically mess around with. And, what happens if we pull this out of this year and put it into this year? What does that do for us? It allows us to do that. So again, very excited for it.
technology solutions, so good.
It's going to be a
That's my
great
update.
addition to Sun Lakes, for sure. Bob, do you want to comment on the survey?
The survey is going to be sent out with the district delegate newsletter, and I want everybody to make sure you take the time to review that, so give us information so we can make better plans and better choices, for our community. There's not that many questions on the survey. The District Delegate Assembly and the Marketing Committee did an excellent job of developing that survey. So please take the time to complete it and get it back to your district delegates. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate that. It's all about you, so tell us about you. It should be fun.
Yeah,
Please
really.
send them in.
It's important. We're interested to see the results and share them with all of you and just see where Sun Lakes is right now so that we can better serve you. We're going to move on to the dog park There's been a lot of talk about it. You know, I'm new on the board. When I received the packet,
Here's a pointer.
thank you. When I received the packet last month, when it was brought up in the open board session, and I actually sat down and read all 3.5 inches of it, it dated back 17 years. And there were legal comments from attorneys and proposals from construction companies and notes from different management companies and different board members and residents. And when I read through it, I thought, oh my gosh, there's a lot of passion for this. I mean, I went to the board and I said, maybe we need to rethink this. I don't know. And so we all kind of got together and talked about it. And we found a spot.
You found a spot.
Well, we found a spot that checks all
Joe
the boxes.
found a spot.
We found a place that checked all the boxes. So if we go to page 2 here, this is an overhead shot yesterday. The pickleball courts are on your left. The stairwell leading up to the north clubhouse is on your right. The legal golf cart parking is right in the middle. And to the right on the street there is the legal parking and safe parking for cars. It checks all the boxes. Again, it's between the pickleball courts and the north clubhouse. Why it checks all the boxes is there's restrooms there, and there's fresh water for the animals, and there's shade for the dogs and for the residents when they're in there. Although it is not what we would consider an ideal location based on size, it's an ideal location based on safety for the resident, safety for the animals. There's no homes close by. It's accessible. And so we talked about it, and I went to Chris Mitchell and I said, Chris, there's a home across the street that's on fire, and it's a perfectly good home on fire, and there's flames coming out the windows, and I'm getting ready to walk through the front door. Will you walk through it with me? And he says, what do you mean? So I showed him this property, and we checked all the boxes. We got with legal approved it, insurances, take the photos, make sure you have the signs up, make sure everybody registers, and we're on board with the insurance. He goes, okay, I'll walk through the fire with you. So last Wednesday, it was a 4-0 vote by the board of directors. Last Thursday, construction began. The announcement today, and we're going to announce that on the table here, and they'll be at the lobby. We'll have a contest for the residents for the next 30 days to name the park, and there'll be a $100 gift certificate attached to the winner. So we want the community to name the new park. The announcement, yeah. So then the registration for the dogs will begin on September 2nd in the main office. And the soft opening will happen that same day. We'll be completed and ready to go at that time. And then the grand opening will be on the 8th. So I'm really proud of the community that they stuck to this. I'm proud of the dog owners group that helped us with this, and they stuck to it. It's just the right location. For 17 years, we've been looking for a suitable place, and now it checks off all the boxes. So again, congratulations to Sun Lakes HOA. This is going to be a big addition, not only for the residents that live here now, but for future residents that are considering buying here. It's a new amenity that I think is going to really help us a little bit. I really do. So construction highlights, all the hedges have already been removed. The safety curve's have been installed. Decomposed granite, DG will be replacing where the hedges were for the animals to use the restroom. The fencing's already been installed. I welcome all of you to go across the street and look at it. We've ordered cameras. The CCT cameras were something that the insurance company wanted us to have. Park benches have been ordered, doggy comfort station, park trash can, keypad for the lock to get in and out. The dog water station's been ordered, and the rule signs. All this will be up and ready to go on September 2nd. So all of you dog owners out there, I hope you enjoy this. Okay, it's time for board member comments. I think we're at the hour 20 mark. That's not too bad for the day. So Bob, you want to start us off?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to thank Joe for his recommended changes on the open board session. I like the idea of us being on the floor and equal to the membership. I think it's better than up there and away. I like the idea of comments from the membership at the beginning.
That was
because
Sandra's idea,
A
that.
lot of people do leave, during our session. So I really want to thank Joe, and if you also agree, let Joe and the other board members know that you prefer the changes, because we're here to serve you. And then lastly, and most importantly, we will be having a town hall on the repurpose of the Cheers Bar. So that'll be sometime in August, probably towards the end of August, once we begin the process of working on our annual budget, which is the big task at hand. So no decisions will be made without your knowledge or your input. So that will be coming up. So just to be aware. And that's it. Thank you.
Sandra, you have comments?
Let's see, I don't have a lot of comments. I do want to thank Joe for defining the dog park. It's a great thing. And it would be great to hear, actually, this was a comment I got from a resident at a district breakfast about having comments first, and we decided to implement, a little bit like City Council. There's some other aspects that City Council has for comments in their agenda. We can talk about that as a board, so I'm glad that hopefully is well received and look forward to your feedback. Fill out your survey, and I think we will soon be starting the budget process, and so that will be a focus of the board coming up. I think that's all I have.
Thank you. All I want to close with is this. It's been 3 months on the board? 3 months? Whew. Whew. That's all I can say. My goodness. I can't speak for anybody else, but so far it's been an e-ticket ride, and just hold on. There's a lot more coming. So thank you for attending today, and we'll adjourn the meeting.